to analyze the roles and responsibilities of key professionals from other disciplines relevant to a specific job role.
Mm.
Okay.
Mm.
Secondly, we had you should be able to analyze the skills and techniques required to build a cross-disciplinary working relationships. Very, very important. Very, very, very important. So what I intend to do is I'm going to take through the various lectures, and then I'll go back and go to the raw at now the lectures and teach you. I think we had a lectures on LO2 was it last week?
Yeah, I even tried to watch the videos. They're not playing. I don't know why they're not playing.
You moved the videos for the
Yeah, the one
LO2.
on the learning out on the model, none of them are
Really?
playing.
You should
Yeah.
have you should have prompted, you should have sent a message to the group or send a message
Oh,
to Aman
okay.
or the admin.
I feel
Mhm.
like I'm complaining all the time,
No, no, no,
so
you're
I
not
just
complaining.
left it.
You're not complaining. You're not complaining. You're not complaining. So do the needful, okay?
Mm,
All right. There's no problem at all. Any day, anytime, any issues, send to the admin. We'll look into it. So
okay.
learning outcome one. So look at LO. Are you still working with your employer?
Yes, I am.
Okay, Mr. What's his name again?
Benjamin.
Benjamin. He still has contract.
Yes, I am.
So I've already given you the underpinning factors for learning outcome one. Your lecture is Daniel. So the first thing that comes to mind is what was the meaning of multidisciplinary? I think I did through some bit of explanation in the previous lecture, and it's all about people bringing their resources together, professional resources together to achieve a particular problem. That's all about multidisciplinary. Okay.
Mm,
Yes. It may involve social workers, physicians, name them, even the police, other specialties as well. Okay. Um, the multidisciplinary teams are prompted as a means to enable practitioners and other professionals in health and social care to collaborate successfully. Those are the key things that we need to look into.
mm,
Integrated care requires professional practitioners from across these different sectors to work together around the needs of people, their families, and their communities. So it's basically boils down to the whole same thing, you know, cause different sectors to work together. All multidisciplinary, they are just from, it's not a permanent, um, so to speak, a permanent body, okay?
mm,
Or it's not a permanent, it is only formed when a problem arises, you understand?
mm,
You bring experts together to solve a particular problem. So
mm,
normally problem with safeguarding, problem within a concern is a huge issue. You put a multidisciplinary team together, can be a police where we put them together and then to solve that particular problem. So they aren't a permanent team that is formed to stay permanently. Okay.
mm,
Now the need for teams and teamwork is an essential part of providing health, which is very important. Teams are, as opposed to individual, have the potential to bring together the skills, experiences, disciplines required to support people using services.
mm.
What is the team? A team, so to speak, together we achieve more. So the explanation given here is that at every simple level, a team can be identified as a group of people who have been organized to work together. They are a group of people who are united by a common purpose and are committed to achieving common objectives. Working in teams allows people from different areas with different roles and perhaps from different organizations to work together. It's all about teamwork together. And you should know about it's all about within the health and social care, you probably work with a multidisciplinary team. Good. A multidisciplinary team is a group of health or social care workers and professionals who are members of different disciplines, each of which provide a specific service to service users. Awesome. Awesome. It's therefore an important part of a multidisciplinary team to work and provide health and social care services. Is a multi-agency working. Multi-agency work is about different services, agencies, and teams of professional working together to provide the services that fully meet the needs of people using the service. So it's all about making sure that you meet the person-centered care of the service users, and it's all about teamwork and ensuring that you guys have a core mandate for which you were formed to ensure that you are meeting up with the services required by the service users. Okay, so what then is teamwork? What is teamwork then? So we can deduce with all this explanation given, teamwork is therefore working collaboratively to achieve a common goal. That's all. That's all about teamwork. And you need to understand the importance of working within the boundaries of your job role. There may be different job roles within the health and social care. It is important that each member of the team has a job description that clearly spells out the boundaries of the role. So in as much as we're working together, but there should be a set of defined parameters, defined, boundaries that should govern what each person should function and its limitations. Very important. So it should be. So we're working together to achieve an aim, but there should be boundaries pertaining to each person's job role. Okay. There are stages of team development. We have the forming stage, the storming stage, the normalization stage, the performing stage, and also the adjourning stage. Okay. We have all these stages. These are key points that you need to know. So it was said that a psychologist called Bruce Tuckman, who created this memorable phrase, later added a fifth stage, which is adjourning or moving stage. According to Tuckman's model, to help your team reach the performance stage as quickly as possible, first you need to identify the stage of development that your team is at. Then you use the strategies to move your team to the next stage in the team, called the formation process. With focus and dint of hard work, you quickly have to have a high-performing team. So you have to first identify, and then you form the team. Then you storm by looking at various differences, jog eyeing for position, and then you then normalize. Begin to share common commitment and purpose. That's the normalization stage. And then the performing stage is that the team then bars. And then the last stage, which is adjourning, you say the group disperses completion of work. So once the job has been completed for which you were formed, then you have to disperse yourself, you have to adjourn. It's no more, it's like I explained to you, it is not a team that is formed to stay permanently, okay? Yes, so it's just a team that is formed to perform a certain task or perform a particular, and once you are done, once the job role ends, you have to disperse them, you have to dissolve them, okay? Therefore, the multidisciplinary team are the mechanism for which organization and coordinating health and social care services to meet the needs of individual with complex needs. You've mentioned this several times. The teams bring together the expertise and skills of different professionals to assess, plan, and manage jointly. The word is jointly. Okay? The word is jointly. So let's say your job role is made up of different tasks or activities that you need to be able to carry out to get your job done. And this should be explained within your job description. This job description will form part of your contract and should explain to you, one, the responsibilities of your job role. Two, where you would undertake your job role. Would it be from your home? Would it be from an office? Would it be at the comfort of your own chosen place? So, yeah. Who would you report to? Would you have a line manager to report to, or would you have a team leader that you have to report to? Any staff that will support you. Would there be any social worker to support you? Would there be any subordinate to support you in your task? Your rate of pay, of course, you have to be paid. You're not working for free. Your rate of pay, because they are gaining from your expertise and the hours that you work. How many hours at any sitting? Is it 4 hours? Is it 6 hours? These are things that need to be asked at your beck and call. Okay. So for instance, the job role may have some chronology that we have to follow. You may have a director, you may have the management team, you may have your area manager, you may have the register manager that we all know, you may have the assistant manager, senior care staff, and care staff and other workers. These are all working together. So in a care home, you may have all these functions. They're all working together to achieve the aim. You're all working to achieve the aim. Very, very important. Please, 1 minute. So are you there? I said, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Good. Then so in as much as um in a care home, you may have these structures. It's a model of multidisciplinary. It's not really a multidisciplinary are just something that is formed to identify certain problems, but it is telling you that a care home may have a director, may have a manager, they may have management team. So they are all working together to ensure that the care home go on smoothly. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a model of it. And within the care home, you may have issues within the care home that they can decide to form a different team to deal with the problem. I hope you understand me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So even though you may have directors, you may have whatever, but there may be some issues within the care home that they will decide to form a team or a team to look into the issue. That can be multidisciplinary. A team to look into the issue. Maybe allegation level against you, and they form a 4-member team consist of a safeguarding officer, that officer, register manager to look into the concerns raised against you. Yeah. Then we have stakeholder relations is a practice of forging manually beneficial connections with third party groups and individuals that have a stake in common interests.
Mm.
These relationships build networks that develop credible, united voices about issues, products, and or services that are important to your organization. This one. Something. So stakeholder relations. So it says is the practice of forging mutually beneficial connections with third-party groups and individuals that have a stake in common interests. These relationships build networks that develop credible, united voices about issues, products, and or services that are important to your organization. Stakeholder is a person who has something to gain or lose through the outcomes of a planning process, a program, or a project. And you can get this from Dialogue by Design 2028. What's the difference between a stakeholder and an investor?
Stakeholder investors too are stakeholders.
Good. What about difference between a stakeholder and a shareholder?
Shareholder. Shareholder, they take a more passive role, while stakeholders take active role.
Explain again.
I said, I said stakeholders. They take a more passive role in the, like, they don't, shareholders, they don't involve in the day-to-day activities or decision making. They involve in maybe the business planning side of things. Why
So we can
stakeholders?
so we can say all shareholders are stakeholders, and
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, but all stakeholders are not
Cannot
shareholders.
share. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So let's proceed. We've spoken about we learned about this particular one lesson two. So let's look at it's a analyze the skills and techniques required to build a cross-disciplinary working relationship. It says read the article or model. What are the key factors for successful multidisciplinary team working? Read the article or model job roles in adult social care. You have this?
It's on the
Okay.
column.
As a sample is Professor Sir Mike Richardson of the National Cancer Director recognized that before the early 90s, there were failures in national health service relating to care given to patients with cancer. He expressed his concern by research report that before early 1990s, only a relatively small proportion of cancer patients benefited from their care being managed by MDT or cancer specialists. Though such teams had existed for decades for some concerns in hospitals, but this was the exception, not the rule. He went to state that before MDTs were established, hmm, diagnostic assessments were often made and cancer treatments often delivered by generalists without the necessary knowledge and skills related to a specific cancer. Staffs were often working in isolation. There was little direction decision between physicians, surgeons, radiologists, pathologists, and oncologists about the clinical, radiological, and pathological features of individual cases. As a result, some factors relevant to decision making were being missed, and in cases patients were not being considered for treatment such as radiotherapy, chemotherapy, when this might have been beneficial. So I was just talking about in the past where people work in isolation, but there's no way you may have specialists working in isolation when it has to do with operations and stuff. Am I right?
Yes.
Exactly. So that's what it means. So let's proceed. Um, we therefore encourage to look at these characteristics and see how your MDTs compares with them. Initiate discussion within your MDTs and trust about what actions might need to be taken locally to bring the MDTs in line with these characteristics. These characteristics will form the framework for a broader program of work, which is being led by the National Cancer action team to support MDT development in 2010. So this is about just support. What then is an effective MDT working should result in following. An effective MDTs should bring about results in patient being offered the opportunity to be entered into high quality and relevant clinical trials. Remember, we spoke about in lesson 2 about the support the patient gets, and then also the support the other way, the support the MDTs also get. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
You remember that question?
Yes.
Yes. It was said that the patients they give us support, and then we also gain support from them. So in other words, and we had a discussion about it. What did we say? That we don't think
Was about the use what's the word again? Is escaping me. About the one you said about giving the goals and things like
exactly.
supporting the
They said they
the
support, yes. They said the
yeah,
residents support us to
supporting the
meet our
residents
goals.
with their goals, and
Yeah,
the goals helps the MDT to plan for
exactly.
the residents as well.
Exactly. 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 So this is it's one of the things that he has said. So for the result, it's a good data collection, both benefit the individual patient and for the purposes of audit and research. You know? And he says that continuity of care, of course, even when different aspects of care are delivered by different individuals or providers, even if there's still continuity of care.
Mm.
Promotion of good working relationships between staff, thereby enhancing job satisfaction and quality of life. Very important because we are each other's keeper, so it helps in making sure that there's satisfaction for the patients. Optimization of resources. Effective MBTs working should result in more efficient use of time, which should contribute to more efficient use of NHS resources more generally. In this case, they are limited to only the NHS, but it could be care home, it could be any organization. So it helps in that as well. And then patients being assessed and offered the level of information and support they need to cope with their condition. Patients being offered opportunity to be entered into high quality and relevant clinical trials. Okay, very, very important. So patients being offered the opportunity to be entered into high quality and relevant clinical, of course, because it is a teamwork, we are easily able to identify the cause of the problem, so the patients could be referred to the necessary specialty that need to deal with an issue if it goes beyond the MDTs. So that's not it's I mean, all they seek to do is to sort of help the patient achieve his goal. However, probably if not the MDTs, the patient would have to go a long queue to have his problem solved. But once the MDTs are structured in place or formed and normalized, there's full attention given to the patients in that the longer process that the patient would have gone through, those are formed to expedite the issue and identify the problem. It may be safeguarding issue, it may be a report, it may be alleged something, and quickly those teams will work on it to achieve those in as quick as possible time. That's the essence of the MBTS. Okay,
Mm. Mm.
and below are your references that you can get in um, from your model. Okay, like I said, do we have any question? We just ended.
Yep. Thank you.
So
It's
what did
just
we read? Refer to the books, e-books, and journals on your model for this unit.
they should get this thing working, the videos working, so that I can use it to finish my.
Once we are done, send a message on the book, please.
Okay, I'll do
Please send a
that.
message, general message on the book. So I'll let admin pick that up.
Can't you help me?
Oh,
We're
yes.
working on it right now, and it's not working. So you should be
And so
able to
send
fix it.
a message when it comes from the student. Then leave the rest for me. Okay.
Okay, no
Send a
problem.
message. Exactly. Take your time. Put whatever background you are having.
All right,
Please.
I will do that.
Okay. Any question at all, please?
No, that's fine.
Are you sure?
I'll just send a message, get the video so I can,
Yeah,
go through it.
be very emphatic. Which unit are you talking about? Very important, please.
This 1511. That's
This
why I've not finished because I don't have
okay.
the
Okay.
videos to
So
work
put it
on it.
exactly at 15.11, please. Okay.
Yeah.
Videos and I are not playing. Can you share the video with me? They can share it on the group for you, probably. Okay.
Okay.
Please. All right. Okay,
Thank
so I'll have to ask for a new link for the LO3 because we have used the LO3 for this one. Okay.
you.
So we'll do that. Okay, it
Oh,
ends in lesson 4, or is it lesson 3? I think we have 4 lessons to go. Is it 3? I'll check.
we've done 1, 2, 3. There's remaining 1, 2.
You really want to? Which one and which one?
It's not, you say it's
We've
remaining.
done, we live with the one, LO3, not that.
We've not done LO3 and LO how many? LO4.
Thank you. So those are the 2 we've not done. Okay.
Mm,
So we're going to do LO3 and next and LO4. I'll have
tomorrow.
to ask for a new link to be set up for LO3 because I've used LO3 for LO1 today. You understand?
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Sure, no question at all.
No question.
Okay, that's fine. With
Basically,
regards
this
to
this this part is definition of what MDT is, what team
yeah,
is,
oh yeah, exactly,
what all the terms are. So that's it. So there's no question.
exactly.
Thank you.
You are welcome, sweetheart. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, bye, bye.